All right. Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to Foundation Forums for Blindness, Arizona Visionaries. We are excited to have a robust array of presentations this evening. Thanks in advance to our presenters tonight, as well as our founding member team for help putting this together. I'm Michelle Glaze, Director of Professional Outreach for the Foundation Fighting Blindness, global leader in driving retinal degenerative disease research. This forum is meant to share resources and services available in Phoenix and the state of Arizona for individuals with vision loss or blindness. And we've had a few of these episodes or meetings, sessions thus far. We host the Arizona Visionaries once a quarter. We encourage you to join us every quarter for a robust array of presentations. And we also encourage you to share Arizona Visionaries with other professionals who may have an interest in either participating as a presenter or in attending. We do have a landing page. If you go to www.fightingblindness.org, you select the For Eye Care Professionals tab, and then you'll find the Foundation Forums for Blindness header. Arizona Visionaries can be found there. On that page are recordings of all of the sessions and an ongoing growing list of resources for the Arizona marketplace. So I want to start by just giving a general overview of what to expect this evening. We are going to be providing an introduction to the founding member team. Founding members, if you have anything you want to share once I introduce you all, please feel free to do so. And then Andrew Kim, our professional outreach coordinator for the foundation, will introduce each of the presenters. We're going to allow the presenters to share all the information they want to share, and then we will have a Q&A at the end. So please hold all of your questions for the end. If you want to ensure that you don't forget your question, you can type it into the Q&A and we can address that when we are at that section in the meeting. So I want to let everyone know that this is being recorded, so just so that you're aware of that. And I mentioned the founding member team. This group of individuals came together to get Arizona Visionaries started. And so I just want to introduce each of them. I believe they're all on the call tonight, or most are, but some may be absent due to personal obligations. So Tom Persky, Carlos Brandella, Michelle Zunich, and Artemis Shamanian. Did I say it right, Artemis?
Close enough, sweetie. Close enough.
Okay. And I'd also like to thank Phi Mo and Frank Moore for helping to put this together. So founding member team, if any of you have anything you want to share or highlight before we dive in, open up the call to you first.
Hello, everyone. It's Tom Persky, and I am considered a low visionary, person living with low vision and a professional in the field for over 40 years now. I'm up in Prescott, Arizona, doing several support groups and helping people with low vision as a retired person. A long history with the foundation in helping recruit Stargardt family members for years and years.
Thanks, Tom. All right. Hearing nothing else from our founding member team, I'm going to go ahead and turn things over to Andrew Kim to introduce our presenters tonight. Andrew?
All righty. Well, thank you, Michelle, and thank you to everyone in attendance for tonight's Arizona Visionaries Foundation Forums call. Now, before we get things started off, just want a quick reminder of the format of this call. Each of our presenters will have about 5 to 7 minutes to highlight who they are and what their organization offers the blind and low vision community. We will hold all questions for after all of our presentations have been completed for the sake of time, and feel free during the presentations to type in any questions that may come up directly into the chat, or just save them for when we reach our dedicated Q&A portion at the end of this evening. So to kick things off, Our first presentation this evening is from Dr. Vladimir Yevseyenkov, professor and clinical coordinator at Midwestern University. Dr. Yevseyenkov's primary clinical focus is in low vision rehabilitation and diseases of the eye. So, doctor, please tell us more about your clinic and how it can help those in the blind and low vision community.
Thank you so much for this wonderful introduction. My name is, they call me Dr. Y. So I have been in Arizona since 2010, and I have been a member of Midwestern University since the founding of the foundation of the school. I actually had a chance, so thank you so much, Tom, for introducing me to this wonderful organization. And I actually have known Tom, like since when I was a resident in Chicago Lighthouse in Chicago. And so I had an opportunity to meet him when I was still very, very young in my career. So it's been a very, so I've known him for a very long time, and it's a pleasure that I still consider that we still actually get to know each other after all this many years. And I think what we're doing here is a very important part, because I'm a strong believer that no doctor is an island, that we are all in the rehabilitative community. And the best way to approach this is together. And I think having organizations like this brings nothing but the best in all of us, is when we can pool our joint resources. And this, I saw that on the agenda, multiple organizations, SAAVI, for example. I refer a lot of people to SAAVI all the time, Foundation Fighting Blindness, with all your genetic testing and everything like that. We still have the kits we provided, so thank you to all of that. So we're all interconnected here, so this is wonderful that it would be nice to have and I like that you guys are doing a very good joint point. They call them like a little touch point, so we really get to know each other. So thank you for that. Midwestern University, we have a very, very robust low vision department, and we've actually recently expanded. So if some of you have not, I know many of you have actually came already to Midwestern University, but if you have not in the past 3 years, we built a brand new building called the Therapy Institute. And we are actually the only optometry school in the nation that actually has an occupational therapist, a physical therapist, a psychologist, and a vestibular specialist, and low vision optometrist, and a vision rehabilitation optometrist, all under one roof. So all our offices are next to each other. So when we have a patient for example, like with some of the multifactorial disorders like stroke, we can actually just kind of do a team approach. And it's very unique to see how PT takes, like how a physical therapist takes case history. And I think it made me a really much better health provider. So we truly are embracing this interdisciplinary approach. At our university, we are a school. We make optometrists. We actually just opened this year. We actually have a low vision residency. So now we have actually even a low vision resident as well. And so we definitely provide a full scope of low vision rehabilitation. Our focus is on the low vision, not blind rehab. So we do not provide orientation mobility training outside of just basic two-touch technique like shorelining and things like that. So this is where ACBVI is my wonderful referral for that. So that's great. And I'm looking forward to SAAVI or anybody in that regard. And adaptive technology training, we have a very limited scope in that regard. So I'm always referring to all the resources here that we have, all the wonderful resources that we have in that regard. But as far as basic magnifiers, bioptic driving, I think we probably do more bioptic driving than anybody else in the state of Arizona. We really have a very robust clinic in regards of trauma and traumatic brain injury and stroke rehabilitation as well too, with the primary focus on those homonymous hemianopsia patients. And we provide quite a bit of Ellie prisms, and we do a full scope training how to utilize this Peli prisms, and we can actually make those people who have a homonymous hymenopia, we can actually make them legal to drive. And so we're doing quite a bit in that regard. And so this is something that's a very unique service that we provide, and it's the nice thing, even though, like with the VA, like it takes a while for the doctor to get comfortable working with those type of patients. So not everybody, because it's quite dangerous, when you start going into driving, illegal blindness, hemifields, there's a lot of legal responsibilities in as well too. So we feel comfortable doing that. And of course, the yoke prism prescribing for your traumatic brain injury with the visual midline shift syndrome and post-traumatic trauma vision as well too. So I know I focused a lot on trauma and vision. So I just wanted to make sure that to tell you about something that we provide, something that's very unique to Arizona. And of course, we do all the basic magnifiers, handheld stand, microscopes, telemicroscopes, everything, you name it, we're doing it. And that's kind of it. And I'm looking forward to having you. And I'm going to drop my email in the chat. And so if you want to come by and do a little visit, I know many of you have already done, but if you have not gone in 3 years, we had several big changes that actually came up as well too. I also would like to shout out that if you know of any low vision doctors as well, we are actually currently hiring, as that we are pretty much booked out till May. So our clinic has been very much expanded and full to the brim, and there's only so much we can do currently with our current provider. So we are looking forward to hiring a new faculty member or even an adjunct. So if anybody would like to kind of come and hang out with me for half a day, you don't have to, and I'll put you can choose any half day you want. We'll work with you. And so I'm definitely looking forward to having that. So if you're interested, or you know anybody who's maybe moving into Arizona and looking maybe for a part-time job or a full-time job, it does not matter. I'll work with you in that regard. So we are definitely expanding our services, and we're definitely in need of another low vision provider. Any questions, concerns, holler at me. I'm right here. So very excited to be part of this organization.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Y. It's really reassuring to know that your clinic provides such comprehensive care and resources for your patients. And I think what was the term you used, the interdisciplinary approach, which it's a pretty unique approach. And I think that's awesome that you have all of that at the ready for your patients. So, it's also great to know that you're already aware of our organization and several of the other organizations, and you're already connected with Tom. So it's great to kind of bring everyone together under one roof. So thanks again, Dr. Y. Okay, so our next presentation this evening is from Spencer Peterson. Spencer is a visual impairment services team coordinator with the Northern Arizona VA. The VA provides some wonderful resources to our blind and low vision veterans. So Spencer, please tell us more about what resources and technologies are available through the VA.
Well, howdy, everyone. Just a little bit about me. I'm from Arizona. Met Tom Persky, 25 years ago or something in Tucson. Right. And you can imagine my surprise when he shows up in Prescott after I get here as well. So, yeah. But it's great to see everybody. And yeah, I work for the VA Medical Center. My position is called VIST, Vision Impairment Services Team Coordinator. We have a nationwide continuum of care system for our blind and low vision veterans. We have a VIST coordinator in Phoenix, Tom Hicks and his team. We have VIST coordinators in Tucson at the Tucson VA. There we have three main VAs in the state of Arizona, and attached to those primary VAs, we have a bunch of smaller, outpatient clinics. But in every major VA facility across the country, we have vision impairment services. And so I have VIST coordinator colleagues all over the country. The VA provides a fairly extensive amount of assistance and training for veterans specifically. If someone is not a veteran, they have to utilize the resources that are available, and very often in rural northern Arizona, that means there's not a lot out here. But for people who are veterans, if we can get them enrolled in the VA, which is not always a given, we'll talk about that in a second. But if we can get them enrolled with the VA, and they have a documented vision problem and a demonstrated need for assistance, we can provide all the magnifiers, any magnifier, head-mounted devices, all the electronics, computers, iPhones, iPads. I've been issuing. We've been ordering the Maggie headset, and as well as Iris Vision and Patriot Viewpoint. Meta glasses, anything that is going to improve the quality of life and help these veterans have better functionality, better independence, and better quality of life. Not every veteran is eligible for VA healthcare, and a lot of people don't understand that or don't understand why. Some 50 years ago or something, Congress decided that any veteran who has sufficient means and sufficient income can do without the VA. And that means that there are a lot of veterans out there, a lot of them who potentially need a lot of help, who are not eligible for VA health care. Those qualifications are changing, and we've taken in millions of new vets in the last couple of years, thanks to changes in those regulations. But there's still a huge chunk of deserving veterans who don't qualify for VA healthcare and VA low vision and blindness services. Now, if they're legally blind in both eyes, then I can submit documentation and paperwork and skirt around those income or other eligibility restrictions. So if they are legally blind in both eyes, and we can get a hold of medical documentation supporting that, then we can make them eligible for VA healthcare. But the crown jewel of our VA blind rehab continuum of care is our training facility at the Tucson VA. We have a 31-bed unit there in Tucson, where we can bring veterans in from all over the country and provide comprehensive inpatient training for weeks and weeks at a time, and provide all the equipment that they need and send them home, and then follow up with them in their home environment as well. And we can do that more than once. We can do it more than 10 times if we need to. I had a veteran who had a stroke in his optic nerves and woke up. He was a younger guy and still working, still in his own auto upholstery business, and went to bed one night and woke up the next morning and just about completely blind. And you can imagine how devastated he was. And I met him. He was referred to me a week after this happened, and then a week later he was at the Blind Rehab Training Center, and he was there for almost 4 months. But he came out completely, different person. And that's just an example of the kinds of things that we can do. Most of my vets are aged, well seasoned. The average age of my veteran on my roster is 80 years old and has macular degeneration. But I have about 350 veterans all over northern Arizona, and I go from border to border to northern Phoenix to take care of these vets. I'm going to be in Kingman tomorrow. So we have an extensive range of services and assistance, and there's a lot that I can do with them just in their home environment. And then I do everything that I can to get them to our Tucson training program if they are healthy enough to participate, if they have training goals, if they have needs for greater independence. But if you send me someone's name who is a veteran, whether they're enrolled or not, and they need this kind of assistance. I'll be more than happy to to take a look and help get them enrolled or help however we can.
Righty. Well, thank you so much for that, Spencer. And it's super important that we take care of our veterans. After all, they sacrificed a lot for us, and I'm glad to hear that the VA has this, all the resources available. And it's even greater for me to hear that you guys have that dedicated training facility with 31 beds, you said. So, that's amazing. And thank you for all your work, since I know I didn't realize how much you had to jump around Arizona, but we all do appreciate that. Okay, so our next presentation this evening is from Reginald Laister Jr. He is the Business Development Manager at the Southern Arizona Association for the Visually Impaired, or SAAVI, Services for the Blind. SAAVI is a blindness rehabilitation training center providing skills training in non-visual techniques to people of all ages. So, Reginald, please tell us more about SAAVI.
Thank you, Andrew. And thank you all for having me, Tom. Thank you for the invite. I think we are all connected with our connection to Tom these days. Again, my name is Reginald Laister. I'm the Business and Community Development Manager at SAAVI Services for the Blind. And most folks know about SAAVI, but if you haven't known about SAAVI, I'm going to give you a quick rundown about what we do, because we have grown over the years, and a lot of people know us from the older days of Southern Arizona Association for the Visually Impaired. We no longer use the acronym because we now have our national certification in structured discovery. So we are now SAAVI Services for the Blind, serving blind people all over the nation. Our services, we provide services to people of all ages. We have a children and youth program, which oftentimes goes into summer camp, weekend programs where we teach children non-visual skills, Braille, learning how to use a white cane, orientation and mobility, independent living skills. Our children and youth are able to come in through day programs. Every Tuesday, we have what we call Tuna Tuesdays. Our young children come in to get tutored. We also have our comprehensive program, our Elevate, Transform, Succeed program. That is for our adults who may be going back to work. Students are referred to us through vocational rehabilitation for that program. Voc Rehab, when they come to us, we try to help our students understand what their job goals are. So we have a comprehensive employment services. I like to talk about our employment services because it is very important that our students come to us with a job goal and leave with the skills to be independent in those jobs. So we start with career explorations. Job development and placement is the end goal, but we also have job readiness classes, which really prepare our students to get through a full day of work and be competitive with their sighted peers. We do take the structured discovery approach. So all of our students who come in, regardless of how much vision they may have, we all use what we call a learning shade, which is simply a blindfold, because we understand the importance of having the non-visual skills. If you have a little bit of residual vision, great. We don't have to teach you how to see or use that low vision. We really focus on the non-visual approach so that even if you wake up one day and that vision is not reliable, you can still go to work, provide for your family, enjoy, have a high quality of life. And I think that's very, very important for our students who graduate and go on to live the life that they truly want, which is something that we take from the National Federation of the Blind. We also have a senior services program. Our senior services are for people 55 and older, and those people are referred to us through the Independent Living Older Blind program through the state. We have a lot of free resources because we do understand that sometimes there's a waiting list. So with that Independent Older Living Blind, there's a free class that we have every Friday. It's called our Senior Answers class, and that class happens from 11 to 12 via Zoom platform. What we realized is that a lot of people just need to connect, and understanding where those services are is our goal. So we try and bring people in, even if it's virtual, through the Zoom platform on Fridays. They can also come in to our silver canes, is what we call it. So those folks who want to come in on Fridays for free, we have that program that's starting in February that goes from 9 to 2 o'clock in our Phoenix building, Phoenix and Tucson. I may have failed to mention that, but we do have centers in both Tucson and in Phoenix. Those programs for Elevate, Transform, Succeed, or the Comprehensive Job Program, those students can also stay in our apartments. We do have apartments, which are public apartments, so we're not sheltered. We're integrated into the community, and our students stay in those apartments. That program lasts from between 9 months to a year is what we advertise that program as, because we feel like that's about how much time it takes to really get all the skills, the non-visual skills, to go on and be independent. Something else about our Elevate, Transform, Succeed program is that if students come in with a job goal that requires education or certification, we do have ed support. And students can go to college. They can get supported in going to college or going to a program where they can be certified to do the work that they have set out to do in their job goal. So that is another component that we offer with all of our students. I see that the time remaining right now is 3 minutes. So I'm going to pause for a second just to make sure we don't run out of time for questions. Again, I'm happy to talk about any of these things, but I do want to make sure we don't run out of time for questions.
Yeah. Well, thank you for your presentation, Reginald. And it's great to know that SAAVI has so many programs available, ranging from education to housing. And so, I'm glad that you were able to share all this information with us this evening. And it's interesting you pointed out the timer. So unfortunately, we're going to have to, and my apologies, for some reason, this meeting was only set for 40 minutes, should have been the full hour. We will have to jump off and then come back on to reset the timer. So my apologies to everyone for the inconvenience. If we could just leave the call and then just return the call, and then we should be able to start the timer over again. Apologies. So I will leave for now and close the meeting and then reopen it immediately. So everyone just join the same link again. We should be good to go.
Thanks, Andrew.
Okay. See you all soon.